Hey there, Ron Leading back, and with a new guitar. This is an Epiphone Prophecy. They're calling it Aged Black. Could be. And I'm thinking this is also nitrocellulose. This is not poly. This is not polyurethane. I just picked this up because I wanted to get some really good V's. And unfortunately, nowadays, V's are becoming more and more difficult to find, with the exception of Gibson. And yeah, the Gibson stuff is so high end. And even though technically I could afford it, I just didn't want to go that route. So I got this. This was, as far as a better than average guitar, around, average price for a better than average guitar. So these days that's around, a K, $1,000, $1,000. So it was about that. I ordered it from Thomann, and lucky for me, I got the last one. This is literally the last one they had. I had no idea about that. So I lucked up. So anyway, without further ado, let me give you some of the basic specs. I'll put a link in the description from the Epiphone page so you can go and see the specs in detail. So it has a pickup selector switch, 3-position, push-pull, apparently coil tap, and another push-pull on the volume, which I believe is a boost. So let's get into some tones and I'll show you what I mean. So it could be the boost is in. Okay, so this is with full gain, volume all the way up. Let's play the riff and see what the differences are. So this is with the knob pressed in. Yeah, it sounds like a boost. Now the way Epiphone, they themselves describe it, they say it's the difference between the vintage humbucking, like a PAF, vintage PAF, versus a hot, modified humbucking pickup. Okay, be that as it may. So anyway, now let's check out the coil tap. Press it in. Okay, that's pretty interesting. It comes stock with Fishman Fluence active humbuckers. I'm not a big fan of active pickups. If you've seen some of my earlier reviews, you probably know that because I've said that. Not a big fan of active pickups, but these sound really good. They're really quiet. So so here's the volume all the way open. Let me turn off the noise gate. So that's with the noise gate off. So that's my fingers grounding the strings. It's really quiet. So this is with, I guess, the coil tap. Also quiet. Both pickups, just neck pickup. So that's pretty impressive. I'm not that familiar with Fishman. I think they've made microphones, so I'll take that back. I'm aware that they made microphones, I think, condenser mics. And so I guess they just branched out into guitar pickups. Great tone. Got that nice growl to it. And also clean, so I'll put it on the clean setting. That's really nice. So let's put it in the middle position and tap the coil. Yeah, that's a nice sound. Because long story short, when I was still living in the States, I had an artist deal with EMG. And at the time, I guess I was going through this all digital phase. So I was also had an artist deal with Line 6, modeling amp. So it was all digital, no tubes, no standard passive humbucking. I was Mr. Active and Mr. Digital. But then over the years, that it stopped sounding good to me. I just thought, active pickups. So I really hadn't used active pickups in a long while. Because they just, to me, they're that aliveness, that richness, that, I don't know if you want to call it that singing tone. I know that may sound like a cliche, but anyway, yeah, that. So I just stopped using them altogether, and I went back to, first I was using Seymour Duncan's, and then I discovered DiMarzio, the Tone Zone, and Aaron Norton as a set. And I just thought, wow, this is the greatest. But these Fishman Fluence, these are really good sounding pickups. For my money, that sounds great. I'm really, really happy with these pickups. I mean, for active pickups, it's some great tonality. So I have to say, for Epiphone, they've reached a new pinnacle. So let me give you some of the basic stats on this. So okay, so you have stainless steel knurled knobs, which is great, very nice. It's a nitrocellulose paint job. You got the white pinstripe, which is great. I love that. I absolutely love the pinstripe. So if it's a white guitar with a black pinstripe or a black guitar with a white, I love that pinstripe. My fantasy world, I've got like a souped up, custom, modified, hot rodded 1965 Ford Mustang, black with a white pinstripe, going right up the middle. Anyway, so you got the Fishman Fluence set. You got the coil tap, the coil split, boost control, or tone color as they call it, 3-position toggle switch. This is a special bridge. The name escapes me at the moment, but this is supposed to be a really high quality bridge and tailpiece. Um, the spec says set neck, but if I turn it over like this, here, let me remove the strap for a moment. As you can see, there's no seam here. So this, it appears to be neck through, but I guess it's set, and then they simply just did the finish over it. Also, there's a slight modification. I moved the strap button because they had it in a weird position, which I did not like. I do not recommend that you do that unless you actually have some guitar repair experience, which I do. I used to do my own repairs. I did a little luthier work when I was still living in the States. I don't really do it now because, I tear up the living room and I never hear the end of it from my wife. So I occasionally do some minor stuff. But unless you actually have the experience, I would not recommend doing that because it can be very tricky. And worst case scenario, I mean, it's a simple thing, just moving a strap button. There was a hole here, and I moved it here to the back of the neck because, as you can see, the guitar is balanced. Before, it was neck heavy because they changed the angle, and having to deal with physics, they changed the angle from this to this, and so when I stood up, the neck just went down. But now, I'll just stand up quickly. As you can see, hands free. It's no longer neck heavy. Now it's body heavy the way it's supposed to, and so it sits perfectly. So anyway, that having been said, unless you have the experience, I don't recommend it because what could go wrong if you use a drill, you drill too deep, you drill into, maybe you hit the truss rod, maybe you drill into the fretboard. You don't want to do that. Or maybe you start a crack and the crack starts spreading, and then next thing you know, so you're going to have to go to a luthier anyway. So if you don't have that kind of experience, I would recommend just going to your guitar shop and let them do it professionally. It's a quick job, take maybe 5 minutes. They'll probably charge you, I don't know, whatever, 10, 20 bucks, who knows. But I had to do that because it was just, the guitar has to sit right. And as you know, with Flying V's, if you have a neck heavy Flying V, it's just a pain trying to play it standing up. Anyway, moving on. The body is mahogany. Neck, I want to say rosewood, although it looks pretty dark. I don't know if it's ebony, but they're using so many different woods nowadays, I really can't tell. Neck is finished with white binding. You got the dot fret markers on the side. Oh, one more point. This guitar is 24 fret, not 22. So most V's, as we know, particularly Gibsons, have always been 22 fret. This is 24. So I'm thinking this could even be 25.5-inch scale. Might be a little longer than the standard, which is cool with me because I have, I'm always happy to have more room. What else do we have? Oh, we have Grover. Grover polished steel locking tuners. Great. If you never use locking tuners, say on a standard guitar or a guitar doesn't have Floyd Rose on it, I highly recommend it. Takes a little while to get used to because if you're used to just winding strings and the old techniques that they showed in whatever guitar magazine from back in the day, back in the 70s, where they showed you how to, it's almost like a sailor's knot where you're winding the string around the post. Man, locking tuners are a breeze. You just pull it through, clip it, whatever, a few millimeters, or like a couple of quarters of an inch. It doesn't need to be too long because you never need to wrap it, but long enough, and then you tighten it up, and that's it. And then you tune it, stretch your strings out, retune it. It's great. It's fantastic. I just put these strings on yesterday, and they're already in tune, and stays in tune pretty well. Okay, what else do we have? Manufactured in China. So what can I say? It used to be that the Chinese products, the quality wasn't really what one was really looking for. But now I think they've finally gotten to the point to where they're making some quality instruments. This isn't the first guitar I've got manufactured in China that's really good. Also, another cool thing, Graphtec. It's a Graphtec nut. So graphite nut, because I've always modified guitars mostly when I got them because of tuning issues, particularly guitars that didn't have any kind of locking tremolo. So I always wanted the guitar to be modified such that tuning won't be a problem. So it already comes with it, stock. Angled headstock. One little thing, aside from, the position of the strap button when you get the guitar, I didn't particularly like the placement of the input jack. It's on the underside of the upper wing, which is kind of weird because all the controls are over here. So that means they have a routing hole that goes all the way from here, all the way here to where the controls are. Okay, why would you do that? I don't know. Anyway, I can't answer that why they would do it, but that's the way it's done. I would have preferred either a front-mounted jack or maybe side-mounted jack on the bottom side of the underside of the lower wing. Obviously, you don't want to put it here because that's a problem. Because depending on how you play, or particularly if you're sitting down using cable, or even with using wireless. In this case, it's okay because the wireless is out of the way, so it's not such a bad thing. I would have preferred front mount, similar to the design of the Dean 79 that I have. Yeah, anyway. So, yeah, nice guitar. If you can get your hands on one. Okay, I'm in Europe, so yeah, there could be supply issues over here. Maybe in the States it's easier to get because it's it's a U.S. company. Really nice sound. Quiet. And really good harmonics. Really nice, really nice. You can almost get them on every fret. Oh, there they are. Usually 10th fret's pretty difficult, but in this case, 12th fret, obviously. So anyway, yeah, great guitar. If you can get your hands on one, I highly recommend it. Yeah, really nice. Really cool guitar. I'm very happy because I've been phasing out some other guitars I had that, I bought them more or less just impulse buy. I didn't really want it. Just thought I had it. I thought I needed it for this or that, but I really didn't. So I got rid of those and replaced those with this. So I'm kind of going back to my roots because, Flying V's, I was just heavily inspired by, Michael Schenker. Also, I remember back in the day, I think Paul Stanley, he played a V, he had a custom V from Gibson, which is unheard of in the 70s, but yeah, a little Kiss, okay. accept. I was just like, wow, that's cool, you know, because they both had V's, both Hoffman and I think first Jörg Fischer, and then later on Herman Frank when he joined the band. But it was this V thing. There's this theme, and I just thought it was really cool. So anyway, yeah. So I've kind of gone back to my roots, back to the future, if you want to say that. So anyway, yeah. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this is informative for you. I will put the link to the Epiphone page in the description, so you can look at the specs in full detail. And yeah, if you're a fan of flying V's, then I would highly recommend this. All right, so I'm leading out, and I hope you've enjoyed this. And don't forget, please like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe. All right, take care.